Vancouver is flooded with inventory right now, but some of these homes are financial traps. You buy the wrong one and you could be stuck or forced to sell at a massive loss. If you're buying a home in Vancouver in 2026, stick around to the end because one bad decision right now can trap you in a property nobody wants later on. Let's dive into it. Here's the reality. The market has changed. Inventory is up. Buyers finally have options. But more options doesn't mean safer decisions. It means it's easier than ever to buy the wrong home. And I'm seeing this constantly with Langley and Surrey families moving into Vancouver and investors trying to time the market without understanding what actually kills resale. So today I'm breaking down the 8 most dangerous Vancouver home buys in 2026, why they're risky, and how to spot the red flags before you commit. Number 1, we're going to talk about strata buildings with depleted CRFs. These can be a quiet ticking time bomb. This is where most people are getting hurt right now. Older strata buildings with low contingency reserve funds. During the low rate years, many stratas deferred maintenance. Now the bills are coming due. Red flags, low CRF balances, upcoming roof or envelope work, high insurance deductibles, repeated special levies. Right now, it's not uncommon to see a special levy between $30,000 and $80,000 per unit. Buyers see this and they walk. Lenders hesitate and values drop. So before buying a strata, you must review the financial statements, depreciation reports, engineering reports, insurance summaries, and skipping this part is not confidence, it's financial blindness. For number 2, we're going to talk about unpermitted renovations and the legal liability you inherit. This one surprises a lot of buyers because with more listings hitting the market, there is a flood of homes with unpermitted suites, illegal bathrooms, electrical work, structural changes, decks and additions. And here's the rule. You inherit the liability. If the previous owner skipped permits, the city doesn't care. It becomes your problem. Risks include fines from $500 to $10,000, title notices, forced remediation, insurance claim denial, financing issues, resale problems. Looking at a real scenario, if a buyer applies for a heat pump permit, the city inspects, the city discovers an old unpermitted deck, the permit is denied until the deck is fixed or removed, which delays timelines, blows budgets, and it can kill deals. Always review property disclosure statements, permit history, and check if the suite is legally registered with the city. For number 3, we're going to talk about Poly B plumbing, which has killed a ton of deals for a lot of sellers this year. Poly B is quietly collapsing deals across Metro Vancouver, and it was used heavily between 1978 and 1995, and an estimated 30 to 40% of Vancouver homes from that era still contain it. Poly B degrades internally. It becomes brittle, and when it fails fast. Insurance and lawsuit data show failure rates approaching 70 to 80% over 30 years. That's why insurers are tightening coverage hard. What we're seeing is higher premiums, coverage exclusions, insurance refusals, collapsed offers after the inspection, and replacement costs for a basic home can be anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000. Radiant systems are $40,000 to $100,000 plus, and partial replacement does not remove the stigma. If you're buying into this age range, Poly B must be a specific inspection item. For number 4, we're going to move on to asbestos. The problem with asbestos is it drastically changes the cost of a lot of renovations. If the home was built before 1990, pay attention. Health Canada data updated within the last 12 months shows 70 to 75% of older Canadian homes contain asbestos. Common locations of asbestos are popcorn ceilings, drywall mud, vinyl floor tiles, attic insulation, exterior siding, and heat pump wrap. And that classic 9x9 inch tile is a huge red flag. Vancouver has some of the strictest asbestos regulations in Canada. Before renovation or demolition, a hazardous material survey is required. The cost just for the survey is between $250 and $500. The remediation cost can be between $25,000 to $50,000 or more. Sellers almost never remediate, and that cost hits you. Number 5 are peat bog and unstable soil. This becomes a problem with the foundation that never stops. Most buyers have no idea Vancouver sits on peat bogs. These are areas of soft, decaying organic soil that never fully stabilize. They're very common in East Vancouver, South Vancouver, areas near Fraser, Knight, Trout Lake, and Boundary. And homes on peat bogs experience differential settlement. You'll see sloping floors, cracked drywall, sticking doors. And the city of Vancouver geotechnical data shows remediation or rebuilds can add $40,000 to over $500,000 in foundation costs. Even worse, resale values are often 10 to 15% lower than comparable homes on stable ground. Insurance companies know this. Always check soil and peat maps before buying. For number 6, we're going to talk about restricted lots and bad redevelopment potential. This is more of a long-term value trap. With densification, lot characteristics matter more than ever. Red flags include frontage under 33 feet, no lane access, shallow or irregular lots, and odd shapes. FSR rules can mean you cannot rebuild what already exists. Yes, this happens. You demolish the home and you may be forced to build smaller. That instantly destroys resale value. Always evaluate redevelopment potential before committing. For number 7, we're going to talk about underground oil tanks. Underground oil tanks were common from the 1920s to the 1960s. They're a little bit more frequent in areas like Kitsilano, Dunbar, Cambie, and parts of East Vancouver, and cleanup costs from leaks can range around $15,000 to over $400,000. Under BC law, the current owner is liable even if the leak happened decades ago. If there's no removal certificate, assume the tank exists. A $500 scan can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars. For number 8, we're going to talk about flood zones and climate risk homes. This is a future insurability problem. Flood risk is becoming a pricing factor. Updated Environment Canada and BC flood mapping shows increased risk in low-lying coastal areas, river-adjacent zones, and poor drainage neighborhoods. Flood-prone homes face higher insurance premiums, coverage exclusions, lower buyer demand, and larger resale timelines overall. A home that becomes hard to insure can be a home that is very difficult to sell. So to wrap things up, smart buyers don't win by rushing, they win by seeing what others ignore. If you're buying in Vancouver or moving from Langley or Surrey and want to protect your money, this matters. If you do want help breaking down a specific property, just shoot me a text at 604-288-7592. I'll see you in the next one.